Hey, what's going on, everybody? Wawa Brian here. Hey, I would just like to say I'd like to dedicate this episode here to all our fallen brothers and sisters. You know, those people that got caught in the grips of the addiction and it never let go, man, and they didn't make it. And I've had some people that are very close to me through this process get taken by this disease. And this episode's for them. And I would just like to personally thank them for a message that is probably the most powerful message that we all can get. And that is, we're not responsible for our disease, but we're responsible for our recovery. And when you don't take responsibility for your recovery, we die, man. So anyway, rest in peace. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Truth Addiction, the channel that deals with the disease of addiction and all the ways it manifests itself. I am a recovering addict. My name is Brian, aka Wawa Brian, and I suffer from a disease from which there is no known cure. It can, however, be arrested at some point, and recovery is then possible. I'm sitting here with my man Joe. What's going on, Joe? All right, man. I'm glad you can make it, bro. Seriously.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so here's how it goes here, man. You know, I got some questions, and they need to be answered, and I'm going to throw them at you, right?
Fair enough.
Before we get into that, hit that like button. Leave me some comments. Hit that subscribe button. It's right down there, below there somewhere. We're trying to get out of the dark corners of the internet, and I need people to subscribe, comment, and like for that to happen. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, Joe?
Yeah, I get it, bro.
Anyway, you ready, man? All right, here we go. So, would you like to introduce yourself, sir, and tell us how long you've been clean?
I'm Joe, and I'm an addict in recovery, and I've been clean 4 years and a month-ish.
Congratulations.
A little bit over 4 years. Thanks, brother.
That's a long-ass time to be clean, man. I ask people, you remember how hard it was to get that 1 day clean, man?
Yeah, bro.
Dude,
yeah.
Vicious, right?
Yeah.
Dude. It was so bad.
I remember it like it was 2 days ago,
like
dude.
from people with opiates, that fear of the withdrawal is so fucking. That fear of withdrawal could keep you out there for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so man, listen. So tell us, give us a little background. Where were you born? Where were you raised? And what was your early childhood like, man?
So I was born out here in Bristol at Lower Bucks.
Which, by the way, because some people don't know exactly where that is. It's right outside of Philadelphia is where it is.
Just north.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my mom and dad got divorced when I was like 3, so she moved to Philly, so I was raised in Philly.
Okay. And then, so did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got one real sister, both mom and dad, and then I got 5 stepsisters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your childhood, was it like a normal childhood, or was drugs prevalent and shit, or?
I mean, looking back on it now, yeah, but like growing up, no, I had no idea. You know what I mean? So I lived with my mom and my stepdad, and like they did the best they could with the situation. You know what I mean? Like they did the best they could for me and my sister. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you were in the dark about it, so it didn't really affect you if there was, right?
No.
All right. All right. So, what high school did you go to? Did you graduate? Were you good at school?
Was I good at school? No. So I went to school in Philly. I went to Washington in Philly for a couple of years, and then moved up here to my dad's house and graduated from Truman in Levittown.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I sucked at school too, dude. I dropped out in 9th grade. I went to summer school from 5th grade to 8th grade 3 years in a row just to get to 9th grade, just to drop the fuck out of school. Made no sense. You know, my mom, you know, God rest her soul, man. She was so fucking high, she didn't even care. So I was just like, hey, she don't care I'm going to school. What the fuck I care for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right, what were your teenage years like, man? Did you like have any hobbies? You play any sports? Shit like that?
I never got into sports or nothing like that, man. I didn't really do much, dude. Like, stayed in my... So we moved a few times, right? And, when we moved, I didn't want to go out and make new friends, dude, right? And then, we moved back to an area that, like, I knew a lot of people at. So then, that's, like, when I started using.
Yeah,
you know
that
what
was
I mean?
when
I was probably, like, I don't know,
Well, I'm about to ask you that anyway.
All right.
So, when did you start using?
You are about to
Yeah, I'm about to ask you that question. That's the next question. Like, how old were you when you? And when we say using, alcohol's a drug.
Yeah, yeah.
Use a drug.
So, the first time I used was alcohol, actually. But I was probably like 15.
Okay. And let me ask you, I ask everybody this. Do you think it was a peer pressure thing?
No, I think I was trying to be cool and fit in. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, that's kind of peer pressure in a way.
I mean, nobody was like, here, do this.
Yeah,
You're a
but
bitch
okay,
if you
so,
don't do this.
Yeah. Because, well, see, for me, right? So, I had drugs were so prevalent in my house. I hated drugs. And then by the time I actually used it, it was because, like, I just wanted to fit in. But I knew that the drug was bad. Like, I knew if I drink this 40, like, I knew then at a young age.
Yeah, I got
like,
you.
The switch is going to get flipped and I'm going to activate.
Yeah, yeah.
I just knew it, dude. But so that's why I say peer pressure. Because I got a theory, at least for me, that even from my first use of a drug, it was against my own will.
I
Seriously.
can understand that.
You know what I mean? All right, so you were kind of like, hey, man, it's just a thing to do. I'm going to fucking try it out and let's get in. So how did it make you feel? How'd that first drug make you feel? Like, what was going on? What was going on with
dude,
that? Do you remember
everything was okay.
Do you remember what kind of beer it was?
Dude, I feel like it was a 40-year-old English, maybe.
Dude, that was my first, too. 40-year-old
I feel like that's
English.
what it was, dude. Like, in the woods with a bunch of my friends.
Mine was a 40-year-old English with a Xanax in it.
Oh.
We used to put one Xanax.
Interesting.
Yo, I was fucking whacked.
I bet you were.
It was so whacked.
But yeah, man, listen, I just remember, like, I didn't have a care in the world at that very point, dude. Everything was okay. Everything was gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't worry about nothing. Right until, like, I was done drinking and I was walking home and I was like, fuck, my mom's gonna fuck me up when I go home drunk if she knows.
Yeah, man. I mean, same for me, dude. It was like, it was comforting.
Yeah, yeah.
It was, for me, like, your home life, you said, was pretty, mine was fucked up. So it was kind of like, it was an escape. And I came up hanging on corners, right? So that's where I got my supervision and my love, well, which I thought it was love. You know what I mean?
What you thought.
You know what I mean? So the 40 with the Xanax in it just kind of added to it. You know what I mean? So let me ask you this. So we both work a 12-step program today, right? So we kind of...
I do. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we do.
I try. No, I do, right? So, but looking back and knowing what we know now about the disease of addiction, right? Do you see any signs of the disease before you started using a drug?
Yeah, man. Yeah, knowing what I know now, yeah. So, like, my sister played sports growing up, right? And I always thought that, like, she was, like, the golden child, right? Mm-hmm. She always got, like, more attention because we were always at, like, soccer games or whatever it was for her, right?
Right.
So, like, I wanted the attention from my parents that she was getting. So, like, I would get suspended from school and, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I would want attention. I would do negative things and get negative attention. Attention was attention to me.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Attention, still attention. Can you recall any, like, manipulation skills being made in?
I don't know, man.
Nah?
I don't know.
But
I'm sure I did.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Knowing what I know now, I'm sure I did.
So a big one for me that I can look back on, and I talk about this, is I wore a lot of masks before the drugs. It was like whatever I needed to be around whoever I was around.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was a form of escape without the drug. Like, I got to escape what I really felt like and who I was.
I can understand.
You understand what I'm saying? In a weird way, it's just the way it was. So take us back to when you were in active addiction, right? So you start you know it ain't gonna be good when a motherfucker starts out laughing. You know it's about to go straight trash up in here. But just so from 15, you said, right? So take us from 15 right up until you got clean this time, and explain that progression for us. Just break that down for us, man.
So like I said, I started off drinking in the woods with my friends, like, I don't know, not very often, right? And then, like, started smoking pot, dude, started taking pills. And then, like, years later, I eventually found my drug of choice, right?
What was it? Which drug?
Methamphetamines.
Meth, yeah,
It's
man.
a hell of a
That's
drug.
a crazy fucking drug.
Oh, I know.
Any drug you can make in your motherfucking kitchen is a fucking bad fucking drug, bro. When one of the ingredients of your drug could be like lantern fluid, yeah, that's probably a fucked up drug.
Yeah, it's
just saying.
Definitely a hell of a drug.
So go ahead,
So like then I found that, right? And man.
Yeah.
And like it just got to the point where like lost jobs, right? Totaled cars. Living in a car at one point that was owned by the company I was working for, right? So like
yeah, I lived in a car or two in my addiction, man.
Like I wasn't paying the insurance on it, registration. It was a company car that I had because I worked for the company. And at the time, dude, like I was living my best life. You know what I mean? Had like nothing to worry about.
Right.
I had no bills, dude. No bills.
Responsibilities, yeah. That's why you'll hear a lot of people, they come in, they get clean, right? And then like in about 6 months, they start talking about how, how fucking, it seems like it's way harder to be clean than it was using. And the reason for that is because the responsibility wasn't there. You had no responsibility for your fucking life, man.
Yeah, and it got worse, dude, right? Got on probation and shit for like from charges like that stemmed from active addiction, right? And then like my PO one day he came over and at like 6 in the morning, right? And he's like, listen, you keep failing drug tests, dude, something has to change. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, I'm going to set an appointment for next month. But like when I come here, I want them to tell me you're like in treatment. I'm like, all right. And like any good addict, I procrastinated till the night before the appointment.
Right.
And I set a thing up where a treatment center would come get me. And he showed up the next morning. He was like, dude, what are you doing? I was like, my shit's packed. I'm waiting for him to get here. Acting like I just woke up, right? Damn well knowing I ain't sleeping like 3 days, right? And he was like, all right, well, call me when you get there. And listen, I just didn't want to go to jail, right? I didn't want to stop using drugs, dude. I enjoyed it.
Right, yeah.
And when I was in treatment, dude, something changed. And I was like, let me just give it a shot. And like, here we are, a little bit over 4 years later.
Yeah, and that's an amazing thing. And sometimes it doesn't matter why you get here. It doesn't matter how you enter that detox, how you enter that rehab, or how you come out of there and enter your first meeting. It doesn't matter because it could be, your mom's tired of your ass. She's about to throw you out the fucking house. It could be a job. Like, hey, you don't get clean, you're going to lose your fucking job. Like, it's not a particular good... I notice over years of being here that we usually fail more than not when we come in here not for ourselves. But you can get it. You can fake it till you make it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That is a thing. At least for a while.
Yeah.
At some point...
Something's got to change.
You know what I mean? At some point, you need to go do some internal work. You know what I mean? Because, you think about it, if you get clean and you just stay clean for a while and nothing changes inside of us, right? It's kind of like you just become the person you were before you used. And that person used.
Yeah. I don't want.
What I mean?
I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
I know how that movie went. I don't want to restart it.
Right. So that was the last day because my next question was going to be take us back to the last day before you cleaned it. So that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us your experience when you walked into your first 12-step meeting, right? And I want to know, like, did you hear something there, like a seed get planted, or were you just like, this ain't for me? How'd that go, the first one?
So when I was in treatment, right, like NA brought a meeting into the treatment center, right? And
okay.
When I got out, I hit a meeting that day, right? And the person who brought the commitment into the rehab was in that meeting. It was his home group at the time.
No shit.
I don't remember if he was chairing or speaking, but I remember talking to him about it, right? Like when I was in treatment, and then I raised my hand for the key tag, fresh out of treatment. And he was the one that gave me the key tag. He was like, you look familiar. I'm like, that's because I just seen you like last week,
That's
bro.
crazy, man.
Yeah, and like when I was walking into like the meeting spot, right, I seen people like I used to get high with.
Yeah.
That I thought were like worse drug addicts than me, right? And I was like, damn, if they can not get high, maybe I can not get high.
Right, yeah. Dude, man, I had an experience too when I was in rehab. And this dude came in, and there was probably about 3. So what they're called is H&I presentations, where a certain fellowship, a 12-step program, will send somebody to represent that particular program into a rehab so that the patients hear, because it's a big deal. Most rehabs will preach to you like, when you leave here, hit a meeting. Right? Hit a 12-step meeting. Yeah. Whatever your fucking twist is, hit that particular joint. Because, dude, there's tons of 12-step meetings. Dude, I was just looking it up on the fucking, because I tried to research it. I counted 37 fucking anonymous programs, dude. Like, dude, so you know how there's a CA for Cocaine Anonymous?
Yeah, CMA.
They have a C/A, which is Clutterer Anonymous. For people that fucking...
Ain't that some shit?
You need to go.
Ain't that some shit?
I need to go. I need to go to that shit. But the point is, man, I advocate for any toy. Listen, if you can stop using it and enter in a 12-step program, it's got to be better than what the fuck you've been doing. You know what I mean? It's got to be. See, because you can get yourself around that empathy, right? The people that, hey... I might not know you, but you know me and I know you, right?
Absolutely.
We might have got here a different way, but we did the same shit.
We both got here.
But we both got here, right? So I try to tell people, man, listen, I'm all about a 12-step program. I just am. Like, I just feel like a recovering person needs to get in that kind of fucking environment to sustain being clean or sober, or not pull the fucking slot machine down in Atlantic City, you know what I'm saying? Or stop fucking shopping on Amazon, whatever it is. There's a shopping fucking anonymous too. but so, which I probably, But, for us, it's all inclusive.
Yeah.
It's all the disease.
Sure is.
It's all the disease of addiction. Whatever you want to fucking sex, whatever the fuck it is, man. You could probably be addicted to a fucking person. As a matter of fact, there is a Sex and Love Anonymous. There's a Sex and Love Anonymous. SLA or some shit. But anyway, so we're talking about the disease of addiction, right, man? So what does that mean to you? What does that mean for a person to have the disease of addiction? And like, break that down if you could.
Like, what does it mean to me, huh?
Yeah, like, what does this disease of addiction mean to you?
More. No matter what it is or how much I got.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
More. Whether it be anything, dude. Anything. Motorcycles, more. Work, not so much work, but,
Right.
But, like, anything, man. Like, anything. More.
Destruction.
Just want more.
It means destruction to me. It's fucking destruction. It's just crazy how our brains work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's quote normal people out in the world, whatever the fuck that means today. You know what I mean? Whatever normal means. But people that don't smoke a joint and 2 weeks later lose their fucking house because they're now hooked on heroin. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
People that can fucking, you know what I mean? It's people that can sit down and have a glass of wine at a fucking diner or at dinner or something and not totally wreck their fucking lives 3 months later. But for some reason...
Must be nice.
Yeah, it must be nice. Lord knows I tried, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember a time I actually tried to get clean by drinking wine. Nice. Well, I'll get off this heroin and this crack with this wine.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
I mean, that did not fucking work out well at all.
Just checking.
But yeah, it's a lot of people, because there's still people in this world, and I don't really try to change people's minds that don't think this is the disease. They think it's a choice. Like it's like, but like I try to tell people, dude, you just don't understand what it's like to be sitting there knowing that I have to stop doing this.
But I
can't. As I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything in me is screaming to stop. And it's like, I just get this thing where like, I'm just weak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just have I'm just a weak individual. I ain't shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, it's a crazy thing when your brain just constantly keeps telling you to destroy yourself and those around you.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? And you don't care who the fuck it is around you, your mom, your grandmom, nothing. It's, you know, it's not that you want to hurt these people, but you don't give a fuck about yourself.
Yeah.
You're hurting yourself. So why the fuck really do I
Yep.
care how you're hurting? You know what I mean? And it's crazy what it does to our brains. It really is, man. And so on that, but it's a cure that only works if you keep using the treatment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I get what you're saying. I don't know if I don't know. I don't think that there's a cure. I do think though, dude, they're doing a lot of work right now. Scientists and shit. I've been reading up on this shit, bro. They know that our disease, the place that fucks with us the most is what they call, and I'm not that smart by any means, but there's a place called the prefrontal cortex in our brains. They know that's where it's getting fucked with the most. That's where like our decision making is and all that shit, where our probability meter is for life and shit. So they're trying to come up with this shit where through computer type shit, I don't even know how the fuck that would happen, to retrain the brain. Right? Who knows? Maybe someday. But here's my thing. I think we can arrest it. But like, because at the point you stop the process of treating it with, we treat it with a 12-step program. Yeah. When you stop that, it's like inevitable that you will go back to destroying your shit. And it might not be with a drug at first.
Yeah.
But it just behaviors come back. You know what I mean, dude? But I get what you're saying too. Because at least in our literature, it says we've never seen anyone relapse who's living the program, right? So in a way, if you're living it, you are kind of drug proof. You know what I'm trying to say? Because if you're going on that, that means if you work a program, you will not use.
Yeah.
So it's like you step away from that and, you know.
Not drug proof no more.
Not drug proof no more, right? All your shields are down.
Yeah.
The shields are down, Captain. We about to get blown the fuck up in space right now, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So I know you watched a couple episodes, but I still like to ask this, and that is about the recovery rate. So the recovery rate in these 12-step programs is really low. I looked up statistics. It says 4 or 5%, and the way they broke it down on there was 100 people enter for the first time, 4 stay clean for a year, and 1 of those stays clean for 5 or more years. Now, statistics could be here or there.
Yeah.
But I will say, in my experience, it's probably what I see. I mean, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate.
Unfortunately. And I personally think, I mean, well, you know, I'll hold back what I think. First of all, do you believe it's that low? And if you do, or if you don't, tell us. And why do you think it's not higher than it at least should be?
So I do think it's that low, right?
Okay.
Why do I think it's that low? Because, like, you know, since I've been around, right, I've seen people coming after me and leave and never come back, right? I don't know what they're up to, right? I know people that had a decent amount of time when I got here who went out and couldn't get the time back and, like, paid the ultimate sacrifice for it, right? And then, like, I know some people that, like, tried this, got their shit together, got their life together, and stopped. And, like, as far as I can tell, their life is still decent.
Right. So, what would you say, your number one reason? What was the number one reason it's so low?
People get complacent.
Yes. That's a good answer. Complacency. Listen.
I'm listening.
Complacency will kill a motherfucking addict.
Quick.
Or an alcoholic. Or a motherfucking gambler. Whatever the fuck it is. A complacency. So it's one of our most inherent enemies. Is complacency. And the other is apathy, which is basically the fuck it's. Like, fuck it. I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll get clean tomorrow.
Whatever. Yeah, I'll get clean tomorrow. I'll get clean tomorrow, man. Dude, tomorrow never comes. Well, for some of us, it never comes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had some good people die, man.
Yeah.
You know? As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do in this episode. I'm dedicating this to the people who have not made it. You know what I mean? Our fallen brothers and sisters, man. Straight up. You got a family member that?
Uh-huh.
Do you want to talk about that real quick?
I mean, I will, yeah. So, I had a younger sister that died of an overdose a couple months before I got clean, man. Yeah. Shitty.
I'm sorry to hear that,
shitty, man.
What was that like, dude?
What was it like?
Because you have the disease.
So, like, I was still using it at the time, right, when I found out. And, like, I was working some shit job at McDonald's because, like, I could get high there, right? And I clocked in from break after getting high in the parking lot during break. Anyway, I clocked in from break, and my dad shot me a text message, and it just said, "Yo, call me." And I walked past my manager in the break room, and I'm like, "That's not good." And she's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "I don't know. My dad just told me to call him, and that never happens, right?" So,
right.
So I was like, "Yo, I'm calling my dad," and she was like, "All right." And he told me that it happened, and I just fell to the ground, dude, in the break room at a McDonald's. Looked at my boss, the manager chick, and I was like, "Yo, fuck you guys, I'm leaving."
All right. That's a rough piece, man. That's a rough piece, man. But I mean, listen, for what it's worth, you have the opportunity and the chance now to, and I don't want this to sound fucked up, to take that as a powerful message.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, man. Dude, my man, Don, right? He used to do, I don't know if you remember Don. He used to do all the grilling and shit for the events.
Yeah.
Black Don?
Yeah.
I used to call him Don Juan.
You would.
You know, and like, it's just like one day you're working this program and then you just kind of fade off and it fucking will get us, man. He left a beautiful daughter behind, man. Dude, I can't tell you over the time I've been in this program that I've given somebody a key tag 1 week and the next week they were fucking dead, bro. Because they just didn't want to grasp the concept of them having a disease that needs to be treated every day.
Every day.
Right? Like, so if we're on a daily reprieve, it must require a daily effort, right? Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it. You got to be doing something for your recovery every day, whatever that is, man. So let me ask you this. Do you think drugs are the problem when it comes to the disease?
Nah, dude. Because I got clean, I still had a disease of addiction that manifested in other ways. Like a crane machine.
Talk about the crane machine, bro. Because I know some people that got the crane machine got them ass the fuck out right now, dude.
So, like, when I got clean, right, I was able to have some money in my pocket for the most part, right? Because I wasn't blowing it on drugs. And, dude, the crane machine took all the money.
Yes.
All the money. And, like, I justified it because, like, I was winning almost every time, right?
Is that is that a skill machine or the crane machine?
No, a crane machine. Like stuffed animals,
Oh, you
bro.
You was going in. I thought you meant.
No.
I thought you meant like a fucking slot machine or a skill machine.
A crane machine. You know what I mean? Like stuffed animals, bro. You have
stuffed
no idea.
Animals, yo.
So like,
this is what I'm talking about. This disease is all inclusive, bro. You can become obsessive and compulsive and unmanageable with any fucking thing, man. When your brain's fucking like this, bro.
So like the crane machine I would hit was at Friendly's, right? And the one day I seen the dude there stocking it, and I'm like, where else you got crane machines, bro? Yeah. He's like, all the Friendly's around. I was like, say less. I was in Marsville one day. Half hour later, I was on Street Road.
Yeah,
and I kept
it's
winning.
Funny, but ain't funny.
Nah,
like, I get it.
You know how much money I gave that man?
Dude, it's crazy how that type of shit, just fucking getting stuff out of a machine, can cause you fucking grief and stress,
bro,
and fucking have you assed out.
Not to mention, I couldn't put nothing in the trunk of my car because there was fucking 300 stuffed animals in there.
Damn,
dude. When I would open my trunk, they were just filled top to bottom, side to side with stuffed animals, bro. All different shapes, sizes.
I mean, it's a straight up addiction.
Dude, it was, yeah, it was.
So we need to invent Stuffed Animals Anonymous.
I mean, or Crane Machine Anonymous?
Crane Machine Anonymous. All right, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know how many people struggle with that, but there's help. There's help for that.
Dude, I don't mean to laugh, but it's fucking real, dude. It is
real
fucking
shit.
Real. Bro, I'm just gonna be fully transparent because you know I try to become close with the people watching her.
Yeah.
Dude, I have been in a fetal position, crying because I ate 50 fucking chicken wings in one joint. Like the food thing, bro, gets me. And when you're sitting there eating food against your own will, like, yo, what the fuck are you still eating these wings for? Like you were ready to throw up like 3 minutes ago. It's just the craziest thing, man.
Yeah.
And I tell people, a drug may have got me here because it was, it just got outrageous.
Yeah.
But I've been clean for 6 years. And it's like...
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you. And it's like, the focus can't be on the drug right now. I mean, I don't use drugs.
I get it.
I don't use fucking
You're
drugs.
You're so far away from the drug use.
You know what I mean? Not that I forgot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The pain and the misery that it caused. But it's... I just don't want to I don't want to focus on something that's not happening. I need to focus on other things like chicken wings. Or fucking gambling or some shit. The shit that I act out on today, man. And this is what my program has become about. My step work has become about, dude, I'm on my second time around the steps. Nothing in there is about drugs.
Yeah.
It's all about life on life's terms, the way my fucking brain acts with life, man. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just went on a little fucking territory in my bed.
It's okay.
So, all right. So listen, we're gonna wrap this up. If somebody's watching right now, bro, that's struggling, thinks they can't do it, maybe they think that they're worse off than we were, right? We didn't get as high as they did. You know what I mean? It only works for us guys, not that guy, because they have no idea how fucking whack we were. But anyway, somebody's struggling, man. They're looking for a way out. You know, looking at camera. What would you say to that person, man?
Reach out. It's a lot more common than you think. And there is help. There's a way out of that hell that you're living in.
All right.
If I could do it, you could do it.
Absolutely. Well said, sir. All right, so listen, we're coming to the end of the interview, man. I got this really stupid thing I do at the end of every video.
It ain't stupid,
you
man.
know?
Come on.
So it's called the Fast Ass 5, or as I like to say, the Fast Ass 5. Fast Ass 5. The Fast Ass 5. All right, so it's just 5 stupid random questions. I'm about to throw them at you. Just tell me what you think. So are you going summer or winter?
Winter all day, baby.
Yes, another winter, man. I love it. Vegetables or candy?
Candy, bro.
Yo, my man.
Call me a child. It's all right.
Me too. My man Bob I interviewed. My man was like candied vegetables. I was like, you know what? Okay.
Touche.
Sir. Horror movie or comedy?
Comedy, bro. I hate this getting shit scared out of me,
I don't
dog.
like horror movies, man. I don't
like being scared.
I like the first. See, I'm going to show my age right now. I liked when the first like Nightmare on Elm Streets came out. The first one or two, they were still. That's when they were still kind of scary, but kind of, you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm still going comedy. All right, so you're at the barbecue, man. You going beef hot dog or hamburger?
Both.
All right, both is good. Both is good. Last question. Brutally honest or lie when you have to?
Brutally honest, man.
Brutally honest it is. Hey, man, I appreciate you doing this, bro. I really do.
Thanks for having me,
brother. Sitting down with us, man. All right, so listen, that's going to do it for us right now, man. Just remember this. The disease of addiction is broad and outside of the realm of just using drugs, right? Keep coming back. More will be revealed, and we're out of here.